in week 10 or 11 at this point.
Mhm.
We're almost done. How has your journey been so far?
It's been it's been a hard work. It's been very challenging. I will tell you that every week I was telling myself, you know what, I can't do it. I'm going to quit. I was just really frustrated. Um, it's it was me. It was me because when I'm one that does take a lot of different classes and courses, and this course is it's something that I have never had to tell myself it's okay to make the mistakes. It's okay that you don't get it at this point. It's okay that you got the answer wrong, but still submit your work. It's okay. Reach out to the people that are in there. Starting out, there's 1,000 people in this group, and then there's the TAs. There's the professors that are teaching this. Ask those questions. And it probably wasn't until about 2 weeks ago when that feeling went away, and I finally just told myself, just go along with the program. Just let it do its thing. Um, you're not getting it right off the bat. It's okay. And as I talked to our team members, the other fellows for our project, and I just shared that with them, and they just go, no, 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 don't quit, don't quit. We're here to help you. If there's any questions, just ask us, and then we'll explain it to you, and we'll help pull you through on this. So that made me feel better. And then other members of our team expressed their same frustrations. So it was nice to know that I wasn't the only one feeling that same way. So that was a big relief that there's others that felt the same way for that. So that's what I've been doing, attending the extra study sessions that other fellows will do. And I've learned so much from each of them. The guest speakers have been so inspiring. Um, so I listen to those. So that keeps me motivated and keeping moving forward. The Professor Natesh, he's awesome. I wish there was more professors like that. Even at our community college levels, that will keeps your interest and keeps you motivated throughout the whole class.
Yeah, and I also feel the same way. I think it's really important to find like your tribe or the people that you can turn to for help. I don't necessarily think that my capstone team is that tribe, but there have been other people that I've been able to reach out to ask for help. And we started out with, I think, 1,000, there are 1,000 people
Right.
that you can tap into for help outside of your TAs, outside of your team. And it's been really cool. So how has your idea, I guess, about what you may want to do as a data scientist or a data analyst once this program is over changed? Like what was your thinking in the beginning? And has that changed at all, today at this point? Are you thinking of different jobs or different ways you want to use data science, or is it the same?
It's changed a little bit. Um, the one that's changed a lot is that going in, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to learn these programs. I'll get the gist of it, and then from there, they promoted the career fairs. Okay, I'm going to apply, and let's see what happens, and be offered a position somewhere. Well, that from going from no because I know nothing about data science, I had to restructure my thinking process and say, okay, this is going to take a little longer. I'm not catching on as quickly as everybody else. I can't compare myself to everybody else because everybody else has their own journey.
Right,
Some have been doing this for 10 years. Some are already data scientists or engineers.
right.
So I had to rethink my process. Um, and there's some that shared with me they've been doing it for 10 years, some have been doing it for 2 years, and it's like, okay, so it's going to take time, and I had to come to terms that that's okay. I'll keep pushing through. I'm actually going to be I'm in the middle of applying for a human resource analyst.
Nice.
So there, I'm a good part of it has to be using my experience as a manager and leadership, and knowing the rules and regulations, which I know that part. The analyst side of it, I only know from what I've learned from this course and from some of the people that are influencers on the TikTok. They've said if you've got 70% of what they're asking for, apply.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm basing it on, because in the past my thought process, oh, I need to have 100%. So that's where my thinking has changed on that. And this position is with where I work at now. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll keep applying at other places in that same area where I can put my, one of the guest speakers yesterday said, don't call them soft skills, call them human skills.
Yes.
So that I totally connected with. So I'm going to take some of that. And if I get the interview, promote that part of it, but also promote, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm going to continue to learn. And just keep pushing forward with that. And I've come to terms, it's going to take a little longer, but that's okay.
You're right. That is okay. And I mean, hopefully, your position that you're applying for at your current job, they see that how much of you are an asset, considering you're getting these new skills, and they'll hire you. So we'll pray for that. We see that for you. Let's talk a little bit more about studying. What has been your study techniques throughout the past 10 weeks of this program? What are some maybe apps that you use, or just what is your routine for studying and keeping on top of all of the work that we have to do?
Well, at the very beginning of this with the Python, I went out and purchased a beginner's Python, like a dummies for Python. So
Okay.
I was using that, and then also with the sessions that we had. Then I looked at the due dates, and so I tried to plan out, what I was going to try and accomplish by certain dates so I could meet the due dates for that. But then as more work got put on like the extended cases, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is gonna really take more in, because I was not familiar with a lot of the programs as some of my other fellows. What I did, and because I was fortunate enough, I have vacation time built up. So what I did was I took like every other week, and because it's our slow time right now at work, so I would work a week and then I'd take off a week, and I'd use that whole week to study. So I'm fortunate in that part that I could do that. So I was studying, 30 hours a week on these different programs, and then doing the all day Saturday course that we have for 10 hours for that. And then I was also there's a Discord where Dewey and Steve were offering different sessions. And so I would jump into those and learn from there. So each person had their own way of explaining it, which is extremely helpful, because there's different ways to complete the questions on that. So there's not just because your way is not what they're doing, you can also combine those two together and still come up with the same answer. So that part I had to understand, that there was different ways, because for me, right now I'm an accountant. So for accounting is, okay, it's step A, B, C, and this is what it's supposed to be. Well, I'm learning, no, you can do A, you can come to M, and you can come back to B, and then you'll end up with your answers. So it's changing my thinking process to do that. So it's just being open to those, and just every time that answer doesn't come out right, I'm just learning, okay, that's just another way of moving forward. Okay, let's try it this other way. And it's okay, because you're gonna get a lot of mistakes along the way, and it's all right. It may not work in this situation, but it may work in another question. So it's so it's just managing your time. And I've had to learn to step away, because I'm one that will stick with it. I'll stick with it for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, and get frustrated. And that was another comment made yesterday, was that, you know what, step away, walk away, clear your mind. It's all right. And then come back.
Yes. So would you say that, the program was promoted to being 20 hours per week. Like we would spend at least 20 hours per week, 20 hours, 10 hours in class, and 10 hours perhaps studying throughout the week. And it's targeting people who have full-time jobs. So in your experience so far, would you say that that 20 hours is is not very accurate?
As a beginner with no experience at all, I would say it's underestimated
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way too, which is why I wanted to interview people who are absolute beginners, because I feel like the people that I've encountered throughout the program, even if they had to take the pre-course Python
Hmm.
class, they weren't really beginners though. They had some programming experience, or they already had some Python experience and data science experience. So things might come a little faster to them.
Exactly.
And yeah, and one thing that you said that I really resonate with too is like not comparing yourself to anyone else or to anyone else's journey, because completely different. It will be completely different. But
Exactly.
I definitely feel that 20 hours, no, I'm definitely doing more than 20 hours, to the point where I pretty much burnt myself out, and then I cut back a lot, and then I fell behind. So now I'm like still trying to run up that hill. And
Hmm.
we're almost done. So yeah, it's been a really interesting journey.
Yeah, no, that's where I totally relate to what you're saying, because I reached that burnout point also,
Hmm.
and I had to step away,
Yeah.
for for almost a week. I just stepped away, and yes, I knew it was going to delay me in some of my the homework assignments, but I just had to do that to reset myself and just say, you know what, it's okay, everything will be fine. Just keep moving forward. And I just kept asking the questions out in the extra help part. And, people were more than willing to jump in, and the other fellows, and, um, assist on moving forward. And I've been able to make the deadlines. I may not have the right answers, but at least they saw that I was attempting. And
Yeah.
I started to put in my answers, um, what I was trying to do and why where I got stuck. So hopefully they're reading that, as to why I wasn't able to complete it, but at least I was attempting it. And I just had to accept that if I couldn't finish that problem out, but at least I attempted it.
Yeah. And so what would you say you do to keep yourself motivated? To keep yourself motivated to study, to keep yourself motivated to get to the end of this program, and just to keep
Okay.
yourself motivated on this path to pivot into data science?
Um, I had to do a little bit of everything. Um, I really appreciated the guest speakers with their enthusiasm. That definitely helped during the times where I was like ready to give up and throw the towel in.
Yeah.
For that, um, it also helped to share within my group, or even some of the other groups that I'm a part of, um, what was going on, and they shared the same thing and their frustration. So it was nice to know we've all been there, and we're gonna go again. There's these peaks and valleys
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
that that we go through. And then, I went back onto TikTok. I would go check that out in the evening or at the end of my night, and just getting the motivation, from different people that are positivity people, and just to keep moving forward, keep trying. And some of the people that I was looking at was, I don't know if you like Gary V, was just
Oh yeah,
very,
Gary
very,
Vee. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If you don't try, you won't know. And if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work. You learn and you move on, and you keep trying something else, for that. There's another one, the rich bee, which he says,
Oh, I'm gonna write
remember.
that down.
The rich bee, he was saying, remember to live. And some of the things he would say at the end, and he says, remember, you're awesome. So I just kept remembering doing that. There was, Matthias, Barker, who's a psychotherapist who would share different things.